Hey, it's Christian with New World Business and Finance. This video is about Coinbase stock. Coinbase has been absolutely obliterated. And if you own this company, you're probably sick of looking at what's happened to the price and what it's done to your portfolio and how stupid you feel for investing in this company. But let me tell you something. I think Coinbase is going to be not only a surprise over the coming years to the upside, I think that the positive results they're going to be showing over the next few years are going to prove and solidify the fact that the crypto economy is a real thing, that trading crypto back and forth is not what this is about, nor has it ever been what this is about. And I think you're going to see some innovation that, again, you're talking about a company, you're talking about a space, an industry that nobody knows what to do with it. And that is the most similar thing to the internet we've had in the last 30 years. Nobody knew what to do with the internet. They knew it was cool, they knew it was important, they knew there was a lot of things that could happen, but they just couldn't pinpoint specific things and connect the dots to make value for our world and society. And if you would ask people back in the early 90s, they would have said, you know, it's cool, it's a trend, it makes sense, it's like a fad, right? It's got the same feeling. So if you have bought into Coinbase stock and you're down big money, I have a good feeling about this over the long term. You're going to want to hold on to this. And again, I'm not giving you advice here. I'm just passionate about what I'm saying because, first of all, you've got to listen to the way that Armstrong talks. Brian Armstrong is the CEO of that company. He is a level-headed guy. He talks very concisely and he talks very down to earth, if you ask me. I think the hate and the slander articles I see popping up are just proof that the market hates this company. They see an opportunity to just crush it. And just like when they can pump something up to the sky and they put out these articles that try to pump it up and they are usually successful with this, they'll do that. And they see this opportunity to crush it. And again, it's almost like you should make this stuff illegal, the way they manipulate all this, but it's just not gonna happen. So you can't regulate people's thoughts and intentions cannot be made illegal. But what I see Coinbase doing in the future. So I see Coinbase as a company that's going to be an application processing middleman in a way. Now I know you might say, well, that takes away from the decentralized nature of cryptocurrency. But the fact is there's got to be a centralized party, and this is going to come down to trust. It's going to come down to brand awareness, and it's going to come down to the people behind the projects and how those projects interact with users. So like the UX, right? The way it functions on the platform, the simplicity of it. I think a lot of people think crypto is complicated, but long story short, you're going to see, I think, applications. So companies that build on the blockchain, their services where you could, it'd be for a specific purpose. So let's say there's a trucking company that connects shippers with trucks directly to asset trucks, not a brokerage, like directly to the truck itself. And that's a lot different than these typical business models you'll see in the trucking space. I know because that's what I work in. And you will facilitate payment through a cryptocurrency. Maybe that token is pegged to Bitcoin. Maybe it's pegged to Ethereum. Or maybe it's its own standalone blockchain. But I think you're going to see a lot of these being, I don't know the word, pegged or staked to a specific crypto that they choose based on the type of company they have. And something tells me like Bitcoin's going to be more like the Microsoft, and Ethereum is going to be more like the Apple. So you're going to get more of the creative side going toward Ethereum. You're going to get more the business analytics side going toward Microsoft or toward Bitcoin. And I think what you'll do is you'll be able to go on Coinbase and manage these different services. So for instance, you've got your trucking one, and you're going to be able to build a portfolio out based on your life, right? Based on what you use in your life. So maybe you are into clothing. So you'll have all the different clothing. They're like, think of them as like SaaS, SaaS companies, but designed around blockchain and removing the middleman and creating direct payment systems with, you know, different security functions like escrow, holding periods, and different functions like that, where again, the fees are minuscule because once these programs are built, the profits are, you know, you've seen these software companies can have 70-80% margins. So it'll be similar to that. It'll be decentralized by nature. You'll be able to build networks with people, transact freely with people using the native cryptocurrency to that website that they choose. and they may even allow for flexibility on what you pay with or what you accept. You'll be able to do this with people all over the world, and it's going to combine physical shipping and different elements of physical life with this digitized life. And then there may be some, again, on the Ethereum side that are just purely digital. And you'll be able to manage all this from your Coinbase account. So think of Coinbase as like your Google account, where you've got Google Drive, you've got your, and then everyone's got their own thing because it's centralized. And you're going to see, I think, the same type of concepts start to come over time, and we're talking 5, 10, maybe even 15, 20 years down the road here. So don't get ahead of yourself. The stock has a long way to go. It's got a lot to prove. Anything can happen. But if one of these companies emerges as the leader, I think that's the type of leadership position that they'll take, is in you pull up your device, whether it's a phone or whatever the heck we're using at that time in the future, you'll be able to manage these different services, send messages through so you won't even have to go to the program anymore. Like you'll be able to just message the vendors or do whatever you need to do in that program from Coinbase. So it's kind of like the central control center for your life. And that could be for your business, that could be for, right? So that could be a lot of things. And you'll use the internet to access that, right? It's like an extension of the internet, but everyone's always wanted that one place where you can keep everything in your life. And for now, it's a bunch of different applications on a phone, right? With all these different passwords and all this different stuff and all these different separate companies that have their own way of doing things. So you're gonna see a decentralized platform now where you've got all the different elements, services and value-adding companies that you can now put in one place for you, easily accessible. It's really going to strip things down, cut out the middlemen, lower costs on your end, or if you're a business, increase your profitability. And one of the key things, it's going to help manage relationships, engagement with customers, suppliers, with the company that you're working with. They can give you NFTs and different things through the platform. They could do it specifically for their demographics that sell the best or the worst, that they want, if they have demographics that they want to boost, they think they need to work more on, they could develop NFTs and deliver them to specific people, maybe that haven't bought in a certain amount of time. They can deliver that all through Coinbase. It's all centralized in a decentralized manner. And I think that is going to be one of the biggest parts of what Coinbase's future is. When you think of it that way, you think, well, where does the trading even fit into that? And I don't think it really does. I think the trading will become holding, and I think you're just going to see them as a financial investment type of vehicle. But I think that application side of it is really what's going to drive the future and the innovation. Now, they're not going to be the company that actually comes up with all these different applications I just mentioned, like the trucking thing, or if you're selling cat toys, looking at my cat house behind me, but if you're selling something like that, and you're transacting directly with customers, you're not going to see Coinbase get involved in that stuff, but you will see them facilitate and kind of be like how when you go to a website and you make a payment, and PayPal it says, oh, secure payment by PayPal. Well, I think you're going to see that, but instead of going always to the website, you may just go to your Coinbase account, and you'll just know. They'll be so ingrained with trust that that'll be kind of how that relationship is for Coinbase with their customers. And I think you may also see when you go to these different blockchain-based companies that when you check out or make payments or do different data transfers, you're going to see that it's all managed by Coinbase. So they'll have different data management, data center type stuff that these blockchain-based companies maybe don't want to, if they want to be more asset light, they don't want to manage that stuff themselves. Coinbase will handle that for them for a fee. And I think that's what you're going to see here. And then just keep in mind too, this NFT thing that they came out with, that is, sending pictures is almost like the trial run, like with the internet, when you had like a chat that you could do with like your neighbor or whatever, or like, oh, I could send an email. Like that was like the trial, like, okay, this is how it works. And we really now take that so much for granted that it's nothing. I think that's what's happening with NFTs. And what I could be wrong here, but what I think you're going to see is you're going to see NFTs, crypto, and smart contracts all merge together to form this trifecta relationship in transactions, and I'm not talking just transactions of monetary or fiscal value. I'm talking transactions of information, talking transactions of value that could be physical value, right? So different coupons or different relationship building tactics that companies can use directly. And again, since it's all decentralized and the company is able to get these addresses of who's paying what and what they're looking at and buying, they're going to have so much data to drive business growth and be able to interact with customers on a different level that I don't think we've ever seen before. And I think the NFTs provide a perfect vehicle to deliver messages, to deliver value, content, and an ongoing relationship with customers, suppliers. I mean, you got to use your imagination here. The list goes on and on and on and on. And the JPEG thing, again, I think you're more on the Apple side. That's kind of like going to be your creative, hippie, artistic people. I'm more like the analytics type guy, and I think you're going to see a lot more of that data management and a lot more of this business-oriented construction around the Coinbase platform build out. I think that's going to be huge. So anyway, this is kind of where I see this going. This is all 5-10 years down the road. Don't get ahead of yourself, but I mean, dude, at $50 a share, come on. Even the CEO today just said, this is a fire sale. Now, I think a guy like him who thinks so far into the future, it's hard to communicate that to somebody who just lost 70% of their money. And this has happened with other major corporations in the past. Keep all this in mind. Take all this with a grain of salt. The market acts irrational, and be smart out there. Good luck.